Bobby, Sean Connery is at an audition for the live-action Rick and Morty movie to play Rick. Go.
Let's see here. The script. Wubba lubba dub dub. Did I get it?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, Beardmaster Extraordinaire. With me today, my co-host, the one and only Bobby Baxter.
Hi. How are you, sir? No, I'm out. Hello, everyone.
Are you well today?
Yes.
Tell me all about your day. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I'll just stick to Davos.
It's getting worse.
I'll just stick to Davos. All I say
Yeah,
is
give us
roaring.
the Davos. You're pretty good at that.
Roaring.
I
can't do it. Too much pressure. I'm under pressure.
Still rowing.
I thought you might still be rowing. It's the delivery of rowing.
Yeah.
Rowing. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Patrick Brown's not here today. We just had him on the phone trying to convince him to come, but he wouldn't.
No. Couldn't get him to drive like 2 blocks around to your place. He's like, I could jump on Skype.
And we had this massive fucking problem with Skype. It was a pain in the ass. Anyway,
yeah,
that's a problem for another day, but we're here. Just might have a Roni.
Cheers, buddy.
It's like the Fast and Furious in here. We're just freaking fucking Coronas.
Family. I'm Groot.
It's my best Vin Diesel. What if Sean Connery was playing Dominic Toretto?
I don't know any of his lines.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. This fucking stupid line.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
It'd be a quarter of a kilometre.
Quarter of a kilometre. None of that imperial shit.
So, how you been? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm just really stoked today because I heard the good news that you bought Dark Souls 3. I've been priming you all for about fucking 6 months.
Only after you emotionally broke me down for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I just texted you the other night and I'm like, I think I've got a hankering for Dark Souls 3. And you're just like, yes.
Like, this is the message I've been waiting for.
And I finally bought it today. And it's great.
You liking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up for something different. I'm up for a challenge.
Yep.
So even the guy at eBay today is like, well, I hope you like a challenge. And I'm like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, but you have never even played the fucking game, dickhead.
He was talking about Overwatch as well. He doesn't like Overwatch. Couldn't get into it. I was like, yeah, I got into it. It's all right. But it's no Battlefield.
It's no fucking Dark Souls.
No.
Yeah.
Also, we've got Destiny 2 next week.
Yeah. That's
like, I don't have time to play. The only time I play these online multiplayer games is with you guys.
Yeah.
But it's too fucking hard to tear everyone up to get on at the same time.
It is.
So I've got like 3 or 4 like online games that I don't play. And like Destiny 2 is coming out next week and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that on release day. And then we've got Battlefront 2 later in the year. So we'll all be getting that. And fucking Luke Skywalker the shit out of everything.
Man, what would you give to go back and be like 16 today and get to like fucking have all that time in the afternoon? You get home from school and you got nothing to do.
Just play Battlefield.
Just nothing. And all your mates are doing the fucking same. Like, would be great.
We actually used to get together and hang out.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And play fucking split screen co-op Halo.
I wouldn't trade those days for the world.
Oh, that was fucking great.
That was fucking awesome.
That was great. We had a Halo 3. No, it was Halo Reach sesh here one night. Oh, jeez, it was about 4 years ago. Me and a bunch of guys from work. We got all the Xboxes and TVs, and we did the big system link. Awesome. And we played like Halo Reach. There was about 6 of us, and we made this custom match. It was 200 kills. We had like all the modifiers and that on. Like you could jump like really high. Everyone was invisible.
Oh, shit.
And we played like the Blood Gulch map, and I think we played it for about 3 hours. And the highest someone got was about 120 kills. But we played Halo, I don't know, we played Halo for about 14 hours straight, I think.
Wow.
The state of my floor, like there were chip packets and shit and food all over the floor everywhere. It was a great night though, bloody great night.
The best night ever, but never at my house ever again.
But no, Dark Souls 3 is great. Like I really like playing as a fucking knight. Sword and shield.
Yeah,
Run around. I'm looking forward to get some bitchin' armor.
I think the problem most people have is they go into it thinking it's like fucking Gears of War. Not Gears of War, God of War. Or like fucking Mortal Kombat where you can just, hit the shit out of everything, and it's not like that at all. Like,
you've got fucking stamina. Like, if you try to go in and take this guy out with 4 or 5, 6 hits, like, your stamina bars run out. It's time for them to attack. You can't dodge out of the way. You're fucking dead.
Exactly.
Like, this is a game you have to be smart.
Yeah.
Like, I did the first boss today, the tutorial boss. And, like, I was going in there being sort of semi-smart. I'm like, okay, hit, dodge, circle around, shield up, go in, hit. Oh, fuck, I just got hit, you dickhead. Fucking died. Died like 6 times. But in the end, I was like, right, just going to be super smart, super patient, right? Just watch for that move, no more opening, go in, bam, 1 hit.
You're already in the right mindset. Yeah.
And then he did this one attack where it's like, it's this big fucking swing and miss, and it takes him a while to come back up.
Yep.
And I'm like, right, I know I've got time. I can go in 1, 2, 3 hits, back off.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, circle around. And then, when he mutates and he's got, like, the big, like, snake head, lizard head thing, I was just like, don't shank left, because I don't want to get grabbed in the mouth of that, or shank right. I can take a bit of a hit with the arm, but...
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking love it. And I beat the ice dude right at the start as well.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
I ran away from him. There's no shame in running away in Dark Souls. I'll give you that.
I was like, I was playing. I was like, I wonder if Bobby beat this guy. I can't tell him I didn't have a go. Because then later on he'll be like, I did it bloody first go.
No. I think with some of those bigger ones, I've played enough Souls games now that you kind of just go, you can see them. You go, nah, he's too big for me. I'll come back later.
What was the first game? Not the Dark Souls game.
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls, that's it.
Yeah.
That was sort of the precursor. Sort of Dark Souls, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Fundamentally pretty similar. Yeah.
And I got the Game of the Year edition as well. So I got the
awesome.
2 expansion DLCs.
Yep. I haven't got those. Let me get a hold of those.
I got the bloody game price matched, and I traded in a couple of games. I only had to pay $18 for it, which is pretty sweet. Yeah,
best $18 you ever spend.
And I leveled up my EB cards. I got extra trade value in.
Wee.
Ascended. All right. Now, last week, Patrick and I, you instigated this big, I won't say argument. It was more of a heated debate about the merits of the Terminator and Terminator Genisys.
It's low-hanging fruit. I had to fucking pick it.
When I was editing the podcast, I was listening back, like, we were bitching about movies back and forth, and you're just like, in the background, just drinking your beer.
I don't need to say anything.
So, after we finished the other night, I was like, bugger it, I'm going to get on Twitter, because I don't really use Twitter much. So, I got on there, and I'm like, I'm going to do a Twitter poll, because you can do Twitter polls and stuff. So, I got on there. I've just got it here. Where is it? Here we go. So, I got on there, and I was like, just had a big debate on our newest app with one person sitting on either side of the fence, but which is the better movie, The Terminator or Terminator Genisys? 100% of the votes said The Terminator is the better movie. Don't ask me how many votes there were.
See, if you had a name, Paddy's got a pretty big loyal fan base. If you had a named who was on what side of that argument, maybe he would have swayed some votes. But you kept it fair.
I kept it fair. Yeah. I'm just asking the question. That's
Level
all.
the playing field. 100%.
100% for The Terminator. So that's it. That's The Terminator is the better movie.
No surprises.
He's not here to defend himself. I'm just yelling at his empty chair.
Yeah.
Point the finger. Bloody hell, Pat, you've been told, haven't you? Back in your box. I watched some stuff this week. I watched Death Note on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm very familiar with Death Note. I am very familiar with the franchise and the manga and the anime.
Yep.
But I've never actually watched the anime. I've had the opportunity, but I've never actually just pulled the trigger and watched it. It's something I've wanted to get for a while, though. But the fucking Blu-rays, man, they're just too goddamn expensive. Like, especially Madman Australia. The markup on their stuff is ridiculous, like the pricing of their stuff. Like Enemy, for example, this Jake Gyllenhaal movie, it's been out for 5 years. It only had a price drop like a couple of months ago, and it's dropped for like $35 down to like $20 now.
Oh, man.
Even that's still sort of expensive. But yeah, like a Death Note box set is like $80 or $90, or something like that. That's high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to pay for that. Anyway, So I've been waiting for this movie, and it finally came out the other day, and I watched it, like, not knowing sort of the entire inner workings of the show and the manga and stuff. But yeah, from my position as a sort of casual viewer and that, I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't perfect or whatever. Willem Dafoe, fucking prime choice casting as Ryuk. Yeah, it was really good. Some of it was a bit wishy-washy, but on the whole, I actually really enjoyed the movie.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend giving it a watch for sure. But I know some fans of the anime and stuff have already been like, you know, bloody, why did you change this? And why isn't this bloody more spread out, given, you know, that this big epic piece of the manga and the anime is condensed down to a montage? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, they haven't got a lot of room to work with. It's like a 2-hour 20 movie. It's nearly a 2.5-hour film.
Oh, shit. Right.
It's pretty good, though. Pretty low budget, and the Ryuk effects are really good. I nearly pronounced it wrong. Nearly said Ryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the effects were really good, and yeah, like, I liked it.
Yeah, cool.
I thought it was good. Definitely worth a watch. I'd say watch it. But also, I started watching The Mist on Netflix.
Me too. Underline started.
I watched the first episode, and I'm like, this is fucking awful. I'm like, the acting's really bad. The digital mist was fucking terrible. Like, why couldn't you just get some dry ice or some smoke machines? You said the same thing.
I wrote a novella to you after I watched the first thing.
It was just really bad. And I'm like, okay, I'll give this second episode a go. And I watched that yesterday, and it was just clawed back just a tiny little bit of ground. But yeah, it was just a poor start. And it's not a very good show.
Yeah, I wanted so badly to like it, and I was gritting my teeth through the first episode, just going, maybe it's the pilot. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes pilots are kind of a bit shit, and it takes like the second episode or the third to really reel everything together. But I watched the second episode and went, no, I don't think I can come back for a third. I can't do it.
From what I gather, like, I've never read the novella. I've only ever watched the Frank Darabont film, like, quite a few times. A lot of times, actually. I watched the black and white version as well, and it's fucking great. I love that movie. That ending is fucked. It is fucked, but I love it. Anyway, so I think in the show, because they don't have the money, I don't know how the mist actually works in the, like, all the monsters and that hiding in the mist. It's Stephen King describes it as it's almost like a thinny, which is something out of the Dark Tower books. Mm-hmm. So we had this discussion the other day. Yeah. It's like, it sort of coaxes you in, and it, you know, tricks you and all this sort of stuff. And then when you get into it, it sort of consumes you and whatever. Yeah. I think that's sort of the route they're going to go with the show. Like, it just sort of manipulates your mind. Like, you see loved ones and stuff. They're not like full-blown bloody monsters and stuff. Yeah. Which they had in the film. Which I prefer, obviously, because monsters are fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
Especially the spider bit where they go into the chemist. That bit's fucked. It always gets me. The guy rips his shirt open. He's got like all the spider like sacks and that all over him. Like, oh, Jesus, that's fucked. And then he on the ground and he busts open. All the spiders come out. I'm like, ugh, man, it makes me itch. Kind of makes me itch shit like that. It makes my skin crawl. Yeah, but I love it.
I haven't actually seen the film, but I watched the trailer the other day.
You've never seen The Mist?
No.
You fucking idiot. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I watched the trailer for it the other day.
You've never seen The Mist?
After seeing the show. No, I haven't.
Holy fuck. I'm going to JB tomorrow. I'm going to buy that, and we're watching it. I'm coming around. I'll bring mine around, and we're going to watch it.
All right, done.
We're doing it. Lock it in. It's happening. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I watched the trailer for the movie. It was the 2007 movie.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Thomas
that just looked fucking miles superior compared to the show. Like, yeah. And some of the monsters in there look awesome.
Yeah.
I saw there was like a big behemoth sort of thing that was crawling through the mist. That looked fucking cool, Yeah,
the effects in that are quite good. They did like, Darabont described as like guerrilla filmmaking.
Yep.
They got the crew and that from The Shield. Because they needed it to be filmed quickly. They kind of filmed it like a TV show. They're like, we need that fast pace, you know, to keep it up, like, sort of lower budget. You know, we haven't got a lot of time to shoot. I think they only had, like, probably 3 or 4 weeks to shoot the movie. So, yeah, they didn't have a lot of time. But they actually built the front of the supermarket on a soundstage, so they could have everyone looking outside, and they did the fake mist. They just pumped it all in. Yep. And then, they got that real misty effect. So, like, when people open the door, you got that mist sort of, that wafting.
So they actually pumped mist into the...
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's fucking what's wrong with the TV show. Is
You can tell
all that fucking horrible blurry digital mist, and it just looks fucking. It looks like
it's like a real bad overlay.
Yeah, it looks like a movie from 2002 where they're just like, "This is like top of the line CG. We'll just use it fucking everywhere," and it's terrible. It's horrible.
Fucking shit though.
Like, get some fucking smoke machines and just blast that shit into the set. And
yeah, that's it.
That's all you need. You can't fuck up mist. Like,
there's this really great bit in the film. They go at the back to the storeroom, the warehouse, and they open the roller door at the receiving bay. Listen to me, receiving bay. And they open the door, and there's this real cool effect. I think Darabont explains on the audio commentary how they did it, but the mist doesn't like sort of seep in. It's kind of like this dry ice thing where the mist sort of just like, it just sort of crawls under the door, but it doesn't like travel in. It just sort of keeps its shape and sort of just sits under the door as it's opened.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he said on the commentary.
Temperature thing or something holding the mist out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was just one of those magic of the movie effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But fucking great film, man. Like, if you've never seen that, fucking, you got to get on that.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
I'm coming around.
Dunsky.
Tomorrow. We're doing it. Take the day off work. I'm coming around. Take the afternoon off.
Sorry, boss.
Sorry, boss. We've got to watch horror movies.
From 10 years ago.
10 years ago. With Thomas Jane. We might just go straight into the news. Because today, our Game of Thrones recap, we're going to keep it for the second half of the episode. I was hoping Pat would be here because that would fill up more time, but we'll just have to make do. Yeah. So, might be a bit of a shorter episode today.
Paddy's our research guy when it's Game of Thrones.
Watch all the analysis videos.
Yeah.
He was right, though. They did, like, set a trap for that dragon.
Of course he's right. He watched all the
analysis videos.
And then pretends like it's his idea. I'm onto you, Paddy.
I reckon this is what they're going to bloody do. How would you have all those bloody ice spears?
You didn't work that out on your own, though, fucking Paddy. You've been on Reddit too long.
He bloody loves his Reddit, doesn't he?
Fucking loves his Reddit.
Fucking hell. Alright. So, this week, it's coming up close now. Like, we're winding through our shows for the year. Game of Thrones is done. The Mist is terrible, so we're not going to watch any more of it. No. I've nearly finished Ozark. I've got to get through that. But it won't be long, and Stranger Things will be back on telly.
Oh, fuck. It's coming up fast, too.
It's coming up quick.
Yes.
This week we had some new Stranger Things posters release, like character posters and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was this really great one. I've got it here, Bob. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an ode to the Alien poster. Get your bloody eyeballs around that.
That is cool.
How cool is that?
I want that. Yeah.
Deep inside. It's kind of like a ode to the Alien poster from the 70s.
Has the "No one can hear you scream" line in it.
In the upside down.
That is fucking cool.
It's got like that gelatinous sort of bloody egg sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. Bloody look that up, guys. Stranger Things poster. Yeah, man, it's coming up quick. That's a show that, because it's only 8 episodes, the day that comes out, I'm getting through all that in one sitting.
Yeah, blast through it. Easy.
Smash through it. And I'll have to wait another 12 months.
I did that last time I was sick. I just sat on the couch and put on Stranger Things all fucking day.
Yep.
One day, got it all out. It was awesome.
I did read the other day that Stranger Things will only go for about 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So they'll probably wrap it up because they're like, the kids need to get the hell out of this town. And they're not going to be kids forever. So.
I'd rather they just did like really fucking good shit for a shorter run than stretch it out into...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ridiculous shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Fuck, they know how to pay tribute, though, don't they? Like,
oh, man. Hell yeah, they do.
They're nailing it. They're nailing it in that way that, like, they're paying obvious homage to, like, all these great films and TV and stuff of that era. But they're also creating something completely original and fucking awesome and fun and, like, you can't not watch it. Like, it's so good.
I couldn't turn away from it when I first watched it. I was just like, fuck. I was just engrossed by this show and this world. And it was great. And because I'm nostalgic for the 80s and stuff. I love that era. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I was thinking about, like, old school film trailers and stuff. I was watching... What was I watching the other night? I was watching Streets of Fire, directed by Walter Hill. And it's Streets of Fire is described as a rock and roll fable. And I was watching the trailer on the Blu-ray, and it's one of the old school trailers where it goes for 2.5 minutes, but just describes to you everything that happens. It's like, in a world where crime is rampant.
Yeah.
One man, takes up the call and all that sort of shit. And it's just all music and just quotes. Like, you can't really get a sense from the movie, but what's being described to you. And I miss that. I miss those kind of trailers.
Yeah.
Which is why, actually, Umbrella Entertainment, they released a couple of great Blu-rays a few months back. They were called, they had 3. There was a 60s, 70s, and 80s. So there was it's called 60s Delirium, 70s, I think it's 70s Delirium, 80s Delirium. So they just took this massive range of trailers from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah.
Remastered them all, for HD Blu-ray. And you could just sit there and just watch, 2.5 hours of just, trailers from the 80s or Jesus. From the 70s. I actually need to get that now that I think of it. That would be a good watch, just to fucking chuck on, just to watch all these old school fucking trailers and that.
It's a good little starting point, like a Bible. You can just sit there and run through and go and
you're that looks really cool.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that. I've got to watch that. Yeah. Yeah, I miss that time, and the show sort of really taps into that,
It sure does.
And especially the school teacher in that as well. In one of the later episodes, he's there on a date at his house, and he's watching The Thing, with his lady, and the kids are calling him and shit, and the Thing's playing on the TV in the background. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. He's like, you know how you did that? They used bubblegum, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool in the way that it actually appeals to a wider audience as well. Hales, my wife, doesn't have much of a sort of nostalgic thing for that time. She enjoys that stuff and whatever, but she never actually watched that many movies when she was growing up, so, that nostalgia for that stuff isn't really there. But she fucking could not look away from that show. She loved every second of it. So, and, we've put it on 2 or 3 more times since it came out. Watched it right through again. Yeah.
That's like when I come around to your house and I brought around a Reanimator and The Blob, and we watched them, and then at the end she was like, they were actually better than I thought they were going to be. I mean, props to her for actually, having a go. Yeah. A lot of people would just be like, I don't want to fucking watch that shit. What's this? Fucking reanimation? Dead bodies and shit? That sounds fucking shit, mate.
Put on Baywatch. Fucking
get out of my life. Actually... Speaking of Baywatch, Kate and I watched Baywatch on Saturday night, the new one with The Rock and Zac Efron. Fucking, I laughed at a bit of it, but it was no 21 Jump Street. It was real, just fucking lowbrow humor, fucking dick jokes and fucking lifting up ball sacks and shit, and it was real fucking lowbrow stuff. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun in its own sort of weird way, but. Yeah, I don't really get The Rock being a fucking jokester and, taking photos of fucking people holding ball sacks and shit. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
I guess you can't really take a property like Baywatch too seriously, can you?
No.
What are you really going to do?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. A lot of great little touches in there. You seen in the trailer, why does it look like she's running in slow motion? It's you see it too? Just little shit like that. There's a guy who falls over, on one of those, lounge beds, with the wooden slats and shit, because he's got a hard on and he's trying to hide it, but he gets, his dick and balls stuck, through the slats. And it's kind of like that, what's that movie? There's Something About Mary thing, where he gets his zipper stuck, and everyone sort of walks in, oh, geez, everyone sort of gathers round and whatever, and then people, gather around in a big circle, taking photos and shit.
Jim's dad in American Pie.
Yeah, that's right.
Jim.
This bit of news I actually had written down last week, but I never got to it because we were I can't remember what we were doing. Oh, we were talking about DC movies and that. We got we went way deep into the DC movies, excuse me. Bloody bento burp.
No DC movies this week.
well, actually. Oops. Okay, so I've talked about this a few times. It's finally been announced. Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone film has been announced.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah? That's a Patrick Brown line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I was doing my best Patrick Brown. I was trying to remember what it was about his Obi-Wan. He wanted an old Obi-Wan movie. This is years ago that he wanted. No, I'm like, that's Star Wars: A New Hope. You already had it.
Oscar nominated. Oh, fucking fucking hell. Oscar-nominated director Stephen Daldry is in talks to direct. So if he's developed... fuck. I can't even talk. What's wrong with me? He's directed... what did he direct? That movie? Billy Elliot.
Is that the little
I'm
kid
massively
that
fucking dyslexic if you can't tell.
That's the kid that dances, the Irish
Yeah,
movie?
Jamie Bell.
Yeah.
And if he takes it on, he's going to like develop it from scratch. So like with the script and everything. And apparently it has a shooting title on that was released the other day. So just like its fake shooting title that it hides under while they're shooting the film. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, more Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, get fucking Ewan McGregor back because he's pretty bloody good. Our first ever bit of music news.
Hey.
Speaking of music news, have you listened to the new Queens of the Stone Age album?
Not the Queen's album, no.
That's out this week. Was out this week. Yeah.
You listened to it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You're like, I never picked you for a Queen's guy.
Yeah, I had fucking that album with fucking No One Knows on it.
Oh, yeah.
What's that album called? Whatever it was called. I got that album.
It's the one with the red cover.
Yeah, with the black like Trident looking pitchhok on it.
Thing, yeah.
I can't remember. I only listen to a certain genre of music, and that's really not it. John Carpenter has announced his new album the other day. So it's titled Anthology Movie Themes 1974 to 1998. So this is just a big one for me because I'm a massive John Carpenter fan and I love all his film themes, and I'm definitely going to be buying this on vinyl. So it's set to be released on October 20, and the anthology features newly recorded versions of 13 of his film themes, because he records like a lot of his own movie themes. So including The Thing, Escape from New York, Halloween, They Live, and one I'm actually excited about, In the Mouth of Madness, because that's actually a pretty cool rock theme from 1994, I believe, when he did it. In the Mouth of Madness was released with Sam Neill. So that's our first ever bit of music news. If you like John Carpenter and his synth themes, bloody get that on October 20, because I'm gonna.
Sounds cool. I been listening to the new Mastodon album all week.
Oh yeah,
it just dropped on Spotify when it just came up in a kind of one of those radio playlists, and I was like, hey, I haven't heard this. And yeah, like they're just releasing their film clips and stuff this last week or two. Fucking good album. If you like some beardy fucking hard rock albums, yeah, get a hold of that.
Beardy.
Mastodon.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Cool. All right, so my last bit of news, this one's a big one. Like, I've got a massive tweet to read out. I'm really scared I'm going to fuck it up because my track record tonight's not going well. So, I'll start from the top. Last week, Ed Skrein, who played Ajax in Deadpool, it was announced that he'd been cast in Hellboy, Rise of the Blood Queen, as a character from the comics named Ben Daimyo, who's of Asian heritage.
I heard of that.
Now, there was a bit of an uproar, obviously, because, recently all the whitewashing controversies we've had with Ghost in the Shell and Doctor Strange, and, the studios are starting to take a bit more of a notice because they don't want to cop the flack, and as they should, So, it was announced the other day, Skrein came out on Twitter and announced that he's stepped away from the film. Because of the whitewashing controversy and everything, and he's had a bit of a think about it, and he's actually stepping down from the part. And he posted this massive tweet, this really nice tweet. I'm going to attempt to read the entire thing, so bear bloody with me, eh? Alright, so obviously he couldn't fit the whole thing on Twitter, so he just screenshotted the image and then posted it. So
okay, here we go, guys. This is going to be too long.
Here we go. Last week it was announced that I would be playing Major Ben Daimyo in the upcoming Hellboy reboot. I accepted the role unaware that the character in the original comics was of mixed Asian heritage. There has been intense conversation and understandable upset since that announcement, and I must do what I feel is right. It is clear that representing this character in a culturally accurate way holds significance for people, and that to neglect this responsibility would continue a worrying tendency to obscure ethnic minority stories and voices in the arts. I feel it is important to honour and respect that. Therefore, I have decided to step down so the role can be cast appropriately. Representation of ethnic diversity is important, especially to me as I have a mixed heritage family. It is our responsibility to make moral decisions in difficult times and to give voice to inclusivity. It is my hope that one day these discussions will become less necessary and that we can help make equal representation in the arts a reality. I'm sad to leave Hellboy, but if this decision brings us closer to that day, it is worth it. I hope this makes a difference. With love and hope, Ed Screen. So, fucking good on the guy, man. Fucking hell.
Good man. Good man.
I mean, if you got like a fucking Jennifer Lawrence casted in a role like that, or Scarlett Johansson, for example, like with the whole Ghost in the Shell thing, like when she was first cast, do you really think she would, well, she didn't, but did you think she'd like grow a pair and be like, you know what? I'm going to step down from this. This isn't bloody right. We should bloody give others go.
This is only going to fucking, like, help his career now. Like, I mean, yeah, he misses that part in that movie, sure, but I mean, fucking, yeah. I can't tell you much about the guy, but now I've got way more respect for him that he's done that. Yeah.
And this pretty much guarantees that, like, an Asian actor or an Asian American actor is going to be cast in that part, because do you really think the studio would turn around and hire another Caucasian actor in that role?
Could you imagine if they did?
You imagine the fucking backlash they get after Ed stepped down. And then if someone else took that role and they took it willingly. Like, there's no way that an Asian American or an Asian actor is not going to be cast in that role now.
Yeah.
So fucking good on him.
Good stuff.
Bloody good bloke.
Isn't it incredible though? Like, even like at the start in that first sentence, he sort of said he took on the role without knowing basically anything about the character, and you sort of go, "How does that fucking happen? How do you go for a job when you don't know?"
It's just the role, I guess. I don't know how Hollywood works, but
I guess maybe the agents just
the agent calls you like, "Hey, there's this bloody part, you know, they're interested in you.
We got this big name actor. He's got nothing on for the next 6 months. Do you want him in this thing?" And yeah, isn't that it's crazy to sort of see the inner workings behind the curtain of that kind of stuff.
But that's fucking great. Good on him.
Yeah,
good on the bloke standing up like that.
Yep.
So that's the end of our news for today. I might do my Uncharted: The Lost Legacy review.
Ooh.
So I got a few dot notes here, but I'm just pretty much winging it. So last week I bought Uncharted: The Lost Legacy for $49. The gameplay time that was said is about 10 hours, but I got through the game in just over 7.
You fucking gun.
So thanks, babe. 7 hours and 10 minutes was my
You don't have to worry
time.
about Dark Souls at all.
The only problem with my Uncharted playthrough is lately, as I've gotten older and I have more responsibilities and things on my plate, I can't really devote that much time to that game, so I'm sort of not... I sort of am exploring, but it's kind of that Uncharted thing where you're like, there's the way to climb, jump, 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 climb as quick as you can, run to this bit, jump over there, swing real cool because you want it to look like real fluid and like, you know what you're doing. You don't want to be that dickhead that runs around in circles and like, am I meant to grapple hook here? You know.
No, you want to run to that little red flag hanging off the rock over there, and then you want to go over to the light fucking beaming out of that cave over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You want to climb at that rock where like all those white lines and that are. There's white rocks to grab onto. Yeah. So I played this game and I actually really fucking liked it. So I'll just start from the top. So the story pretty much is the main characters of this game is actually great because we've got 2 previously secondary characters from the Uncharted franchise. You've got Chloe Fraser from Uncharted 2 and 3 and Nadine Ross from Uncharted 4. And they're the 2 main characters in this game, which is actually cool because they've got a really good fucking dynamic.
Is Chloe the one with the Aussie-ish accent?
That's right, played by Claudia Black.
And she was in Pitch Black, was she? Or
yeah, she was in Pitch Black and she was in Stargate and Farscape.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's a cool chick. Yeah, really cool chick. So yeah, the story starts, Chloe's sort of on the hunt. They're in India and she's on the hunt for the golden tusk of Ganesh. So the tusk that was knocked off Ganesh, it was broken off. Sort of just my historical bits that I picked up from the game. So Chloe's on the hunt for this treasure, and it sort of has a bit of a deeper tie to her because her father was actually a treasure hunter in that as well, and the tusk was his obsession. And he was looking for it his entire life, but he never found it.
Right.
So she has a bit more of a stake in this than anyone else does. And Nadine Ross is in this because, Bobby, you haven't played Uncharted 4, but there are events that happen in Uncharted 4 which sort of spurn her on. Not directly, but at the end of that game, she's like, I'm off on another sideways adventure. See you later, Nathan Drake. yeah, just from events from Uncharted 4 sort of spurn her.
So this is post Uncharted 4?
This is based after Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're on the hunt for the Tusk of Ganesh. But there's also this bloody warlord, his name's, what was his name? Asav. This real sort of nondescript guy, Indian bloke with glasses and that. He doesn't look like much of a threat, but fuck, he can fight. He's a real tough prick too, because he's like, you're doing all these kicks and stuff, and he's like real sort of martial arts pro, just like blocking and pushing the way, like he knows what he's doing. It's like real effortless for him. You're like, oh god, never fought a guy like this before. Like real calm and collected, and yeah, pretty cool character actually. I really liked him. So you're on the hunt for this Tusk. And you go on many varied adventures and that. So I'll just jump sort of straight over to the graphics. Graphics in this game are absolutely drop dead fucking beautiful. Like, I don't have a PS4 Pro or like a 4K TV or anything like that. But just on my standard HD telly and my standard PS4, holy crap, this game is beautiful to look at. Like these sort of Indian forests and sort of rainforesty type deal and stuff. And god man, it's fucking beautiful. And there's this scene where, like, you come out into this valley and there's, like, this waterfall over the other side, which is, like, being dammed. And there are these two, like, great carved bloody statues, like one of Ganesh and I think the other one's, like, of Shiva, or they're both of Ganesh. And holy crap, you really get that bloody scale. And it just looks drop dead fucking gorgeous. Like, this is probably, yeah. Like, you'd say Uncharted 4 is the best looking game on PS4, but, you know, this is probably more recent, so you'd dare say that this is the best looking game on PS4.
Wow.
It's fucking beautiful to look at. In saying that as well, I really liked, like, motion capture and that for Naughty Dog and that, like performance capture and that sort of stuff. Yeah. They're sort of second to none. Like, The Last of Us, for example, and Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Like, in this, the reason, like, the motion capture in that really stood out for me is I've seen Claudia Black on TV. Claudia plays Chloe Fraser. Yep. I've seen her on TV, like, a lot. And she's this real sort of, she kind of has, like, these cheeky moments, and she's, like, very sort of emotive with her face and her sort of lips and teeth and tongue and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
They pick up, like, all these little ticks and that she does. They shine through into the performance. There's this one scene where somebody sort of says something funny and she actually climbs up and she sort of takes a breath and she sort of sticks her tongue out and rests it on her top lip. And you actually see that, like, on the screen, just like those little sort of ticks they've worked in.
That's nuts.
To the game, like, just from her natural sort of performance and that.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see. That was really cool. And just going back to the characters and that, the dynamic between Nadine and Chloe, like, it starts off a bit rough, like they're just in it because, you know, they need each other, but as the game goes on, they get more friendlier and they learn more about each other, and yeah, like, the growing dynamic in that was my favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I always like Chloe. She's a real cheeky badass.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Uncharted 2, she really shined in that, I thought.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath. What else can I say about this game that I bloody loved? The gameplay is pretty much, it's Uncharted 4 exactly. So this game started off as DLC from what I found out. When you install the game, and you know how you install it, and it says at the bottom, it's got like your trophies and stuff.
Yep.
It's got, you know, Uncharted 4 there, like a Thief's End. And you're like, oh, this is sort of lumped in. Your trophy is going to be lumped into your regular Uncharted 4 trophies. But once you start the game and that, it has its own trophy section. So it's sort of like, yeah, it started as DLC, but then they thought this game was a bit too big, so let's make it a standalone game on its own, but a more sort of contained experience. Yeah, so their dynamic was just really great to see, and it was great to have secondary characters being brought to the forefront, and they really have their own time to shine, and they grow. I dare say this is probably my favourite Uncharted game.
Oh, wow.
That's
nuts.
That's a really big call, but most of that is the dynamic between these two.
Yeah.
And it's really great having, like, female protagonists again. Like, you know, Tomb Raider kind of thing. But, like, Drake's cool, but, yeah, it was really cool just to see these two interact, because they're very different, and just watching them sort of butt up against each other, but then sort of become friends by the end of it. The gameplay is, it is dead set Uncharted 4. There's nothing really new about it. So obviously, like, it started as DLC. We're going to make it into a full-blown game, but we don't have the sort of time to build anything sort of new. There's new weapons and stuff. There's a couple of other things I'll get into in in a minute. But one of the things I found is that when I play Uncharted, like any other Uncharted game, I can run around and I can sort of... There's a little bit of difficulty when I'm getting sort of swarmed by guys, and yeah, I might die every now and then, but I can manage to take on all the enemies that are sort of in the area, and I can, most of the time, come out on top. Yeah. This felt like, okay, we don't have any room to create anything new, any new content, any new sort of game styles. So what we'll do is, to make it a bit harder, we'll just throw a few more enemies at you. So I felt like when I was playing this and when I got spotted or whatever, there were a hell of a lot more enemies than there are in your sort of the last 4 Uncharted games.
Yeah, okay.
It was like, okay, we don't have time to... Because this was a more condensed experience as well. Like, it's like they took all the filler out and just left sort of the meat of like all the other games. But, you know, in a compacted form. It's like a tin of Spam. Like, they just took what you need and just like put it into a thing, but then like squashed it down real tight. Yeah, so...
With the control styles, you say it's like pretty much the same as Uncharted 4, but do you feel any kind of physically any difference, like controlling the sort of like female characters? Do they move differently? Are they more agile or less? Or
no,
like it just feels kind of just a reskin of Nate, really, or
it's pretty much the same, I would say. Like, obviously, they don't have the same run style, they don't have the same fight style.
Yeah.
But you know, like when you take on and you fight an enemy, you know, like 3 or 4 hits and they're down. Yeah. You know, like it's the same kind of thing. Regular Uncharted games with Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
There's nothing sort of different about it. In Uncharted 4, they did try their first sort of open world section. It's not really open world, but like a big sort of sandpit section.
Yeah.
Where you start in a 4x4 and there's like a mountain in the background and you have to drive to it. And there are like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 different ways you can go.
Yeah.
But you know, until you get to the next bit and then you can branch off a couple more, or you can go to the right, but you always sort of, you know, travel from south to north into the same direction. In the second act of this, they've gone bigger. This is like the biggest open world sandpit that they've had in any of these games. And it was really big. And this was the most time I spent sort of running around, because I had a Jeep and stuff, and you have like the main story part. So there are 3 different areas you've got to go check. But I stumbled across this like little temple thing where I found like these golden tokens.
Right. And
I found this map and I put the token in and it popped up all these other ones. Like, it had this big map sort of graph on the wall and it popped up all these other empty circles. And they're like, oh, there must be more tokens that we have to collect. And you pull out your map and she scribbled on there the other location. So I spent the time, because there's like this bracelet, like in this little box, this little cage box thing. Like, oh, if we drop all the tokens in, we're going to get that bloody bracelet. And I'm like, fucking bracelet? What do I want that for? Anyway, so I was like, fuck it. I did all the side stuff. Like, I went and collected all the tokens, and there are all these little puzzles and stuff that you have to solve to get them.
Yep.
But I spent a lot of time in that section. I probably spent about 3 hours in that section, just driving around and collecting the tokens and that. And then going to the main story parts as well. But in this game, I will say, the puzzles in this game are way better than in Uncharted 4. I found the puzzles in Uncharted 4 very simplified.
Yep.
And there was no real sort of effort to them. They just took a little while to solve.
Yeah.
But there was no real difficulty curve.
I heard that a lot when the game came out. Yeah.
In this, though, there are a couple of puzzles in this that are real sort of... Well, they're a bit of a head-scratcher. Like, it's more a trial and error kind of puzzles. And I found them, like, really interesting. And I thought the puzzles in this game were better than the puzzles in Uncharted 4.
Yep.
I think they probably took a little bit of a cue from the last game where everyone was saying, well, the puzzles were a bit too easy or whatever. It was a bit too simple.
Yep.
You know, it was sort of just a means to an end, you know, to push the story along or whatever. Like, here's your puzzle, because you need to have a puzzle, but we made it easy anyway.
We need to give you breathing room between combat.
And basically. Just running around.
Yeah.
So the puzzles were great. I really enjoyed the puzzles. Yeah, the open world section, I did spend a lot of time there. I probably spent a good 3 hours there. Just because I wanted to do all the side stuff, and I could tell you what happens when you get the bracelet. All the bracelet does is when you get close to a treasure, it hums, and it makes a noise in your controller.
Right.
So if you get close to a treasure, your controller will start to vibrate, but you can switch that off in the start menu.
Yeah.
So I got that, and you put the bracelet on. You can see Chloe wearing it, and when you get close to a treasure, there's like a little red stone in it that lights up.
Yep.
And you hear the sound through your controller, and your controller starts to vibrate. So, yeah, so every time I run past a treasure, I just pick it up. So it makes it easier to find the 68 treasures that are in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the end of the game I fucking loved because they've gone back and they've put a train at the end, like in Uncharted 2.
Sick.
And the train's fucking massive too.
Yeah.
But there's scenes where like cars drive up and, you know, you're getting shot at, so you've got to do the Uncharted like 3 and 4 thing where you have to jump onto the cars, you have to take the guys out, and then you're like, shit, the car's on fire, quick jump, and you got to jump back on the train, and yeah, it's fucking great. Like the last third of that game was fucking sick. Like I loved it, and the boss fight at the end, like it was a bit wanky, the whole reason, and that like the bad guys were after the tusk or whatever, and but yeah, like I really liked this game.
Naughty Dog are fucking masters at like that kind of
and this was
it's very on
this was
rails.
the B team. Like this was the B team at Naughty Dog because the A team's off making Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. Oh man, can't wait for that.
Oof.
But yeah, they're masters of like that, like those sections, those moments in games where it's almost like an on rails kind of thing, and you kind of loosely controlling it, but fuck, you feel like you're in it, like you're in the moment with that shit. And they make it so that even though it is relatively linear in the way that you have to do the stuff, like one false move and you die, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So they really fucking grab you in with those moments. Uncharted 2 with the train, holy fuck. That just blew my mind the first time I played that.
That was a great section to play.
Yeah. Insane.
And I really like this game, man.
Yep.
The problem I had with Uncharted 4, I fucking love that game, and I played it through again a couple of months ago. I felt like that game was too long. Like, I probably played that for about 18 hours.
Wow.
But that kind of game, I felt it was too long. Like, there's this section where you get to the island and there's another mountain in the background which you have to get through. And naturally, like, the time I've been playing, I felt like I was probably just starting the third act.
Wow, okay.
By the time I got to the end of the game, I found out I was only halfway through the game.
Oh,
I was only just before the halfway mark.
Shit.
And it felt like it was quite a long game. There was a lot of like character stuff and emotional stuff and action stuff and a lot of sort of couple of different plot lines and that had to thread together. But I think they've taken a big cue from it in this game as well, because this isn't as long as that game. This is like 6 to 10 hours depending on how you want to play.
Yep.
Like you could smash this out in like an afternoon or a day easily. But it feels like they've cut out sort of all that like filler stuff that they don't need. Like we just need to create this great dynamic. We'll work in a driving section, an open world section. So we'll throw in some great puzzles, combat, you know, running around, traversing, platforming, and a massive fucking epic set piece at the end. And, you know, you're good, you're golden. I would definitely sign up for another game with these two. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm more interested to see another Uncharted game with Chloe and Nadine than I am with Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've gotten everything I have out of Nathan Drake.
He's run his course. I mean, like, he almost pretty much ran his course by 3. 3 felt like it was the bookend to that whole trilogy. I was surprised they brought him back for 4, to be honest. But I haven't played 4, so I don't really know where he sits there. Yeah, I feel like 3 was the end. 4 was kind of like an epilogue. Yeah, I don't think you need to bring him back.
I really like this game, man. And I got through it pretty quick. Like, back in the day, like, a long game, like on a PS1 or a PS2 was about 6, 7 hours tops. And then they started progressively getting longer. Now we've got massive open world RPGs where we sink hundreds of hours, and I'm still playing the bloody Witcher. Like, I was playing that yesterday and the day before. It's great to have a game like Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
The single player campaign and that, like I smashed it out in about 6 hours.
Yeah.
And that was great. That was like fast, fun.
Afternoons.
Yeah, that was fast, fun. Like, to the point. I got what I needed out of it. Yeah, I would have liked some more and whatever. It's just because I like that game. Running around with robots and fucking shit. That was fun. Like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was great. It was great to have a change. Like, not having to sink 10 to 20 hours into a game. 5 to 10 hours. Like, that's good. Even though telling you that I played it for 7 hours, that sounds pretty short. It didn't feel short when I played it. I played it over about 3 or 4 days.
Well, if you said, like, I watched movies on an afternoon for 7 hours, you'd be like, you fucking crazy? But yeah, like a video game, 6 or 7 hours sounds short these days, but actually, it's fucking hard, like, when you're an adult, to scrounge that kind of time together now, and yeah, I fucking love open world RPGs and stuff. I love the shit out of them, but, man, it's getting harder and harder to invest, like, 60, 70, 80 hours into these games anymore. It's really hard.
And you don't feel that accomplishment. No. Like, when Skyrim came out, I didn't work, like, work wasn't very far from where I lived.
That pretty much sums it up for me.
I lived in the game, though.
Yeah, I lived in the game. I didn't live outside at all.
I was at work, and I lived a 7-minute walk away, so I lived like 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
On my lunch break, I had an hour for lunch. I would walk home for 7 minutes. I fired up Skyrim, and I smithed for like 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I switched it off and went back to work. Like, you can play an open world game for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. Like I was telling you the other day, I played The Witcher for like 3 hours, and all I was doing was walking around the map and just checking off all the question marks of all the areas I hadn't been. Yeah. Whether they were monster nests or a guarded treasure or a bandit camp or whatever. I did that for like 2.5 hours, and I looked at the map and I only did like one tiny little corner section. Whereas if I played this game for 2.5 hours, I'd been through the ringer, I got story, I had great platform sections, I solved some puzzles, I drove some cars, I got in some gunfights, and I had a great time. I feel like I've accomplished more in that 2.5 hours than I would an open world game.
Yeah, that's very true. There's a lot of filler in modern open world games. You basically... burping all over the place. Bento
burps.
Oh.
Why did we get bento again?
Oh, I know. It's bouncing off the pop filter. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, like, it's ticking boxes, those kind of side quests in those big RPGs, and once you can start to see it, then it just starts to feel like a bit of a chore, or sometimes it's almost like...
fetch quests.
You just get in a trance with it, and then you do it, and then you come out a month later, and you're like, I still haven't finished this game, and what the fuck have I been doing this whole time? Like, it's crazy. But, yeah. I mean, you're about to venture into Dark Souls, which is like a hardcore... my save file at the end of the game for that is about 60 hours to get through it.
Shit!
But, it's
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah. But it's... I mean, I did a lot of sort of soul farming and stuff like that. Like, you go back through areas you've already cleared to try and get your levels up and stuff to be able to beat the next boss, because you might not be strong enough or whatever.
Find the Lords of Cinder.
Yeah. But you're never checking boxes in that game. You're always just forging ahead into the next uncharted territory. And sometimes the next uncharted territory is a little too fucking scary. So you go back to the old one and, like, play through that and get to know it really well. Get all the items in that area, like, flush it clean. And then you're like, okay, now I've built up the balls to fucking move on to the next one. So it feels less like that kind of, set, like, fucking side quests and fetch quests and shit. Yeah.
I will say there was this one bit in Dark Souls I was playing today where I got to where the shrine is. And I was running around sort of just checking all around the sides of the building. And I went around the left and there was this guy like standing at the top of the stairs.
I know this guy.
And I was looking at him and I was like, this guy doesn't look good. And it took me a while to figure out what like all the bloodstains were. And I'm like, these are all the other people that have played Dark Souls because it's connected to the Dark Souls 3 server where they've all died. And I'm like, it took me a little while to figure out what they were. Because I got to, like, the boss area, and they're just, like, all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I see this guy on these stairs, and I see all these bloodstains, like, everywhere. I'm like, this guy looks like he means business. So I get up there, and he's got, like, this massive fucking katana, and he's trying to attack me and stuff, and I get, like, a hit in, dodge out of the way, circling around, he's trying to hit me, dodge out of the way, I'm like, yeah, come on, motherfucker. Jeez, I've barely taken off any health. And then he tries to hit me again, and I circle around him, and I hit him, and I knock him back, and he fell off the cliff.
Yes, that's the way you're supposed to do
it. And then my soul's just like, you could hear him like... Sucked up.
And your number on the side just goes...
Yeah, I got like 2,000 souls off that guy. Yeah.
You get a sweet katana off him, too. A nice early game.
I didn't get that because he fell off the cliff.
If you go back out there now, though, he'll be dead and a little thing will be on the ground for it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. They don't fuck you over in that game. Like,
is he like kind of like classed as like a mini boss kind of thing? Yeah, sweet.
Like if you kill someone big in that game, they'll make sure next time you come back that item's sitting there ready.
Oh, cool.
Ready to go. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go back and get that. I'm only got to walk outside.
Because that's what that game's all about, is like finding the little avenues. They make shit so hard that they allow it, like, for you to cheese enemies or, like, find little weak spots where you can knock them off a cliff or, you know, get them stuck in a doorway where they can't get through and they can't hit you. And then, you know, it's all about that kind of trial and error. That's what I fucking love about that game.
Anyway, I don't think I really have too much more to say about Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. There is a
I keep bringing it back to Dark Souls.
You're just so excited that I'm finally playing it.
You can get it so excited.
There is a multiplayer mode. There is a multiplayer online mode, and there is a survivor mode. I believe the multiplayer mode is exactly the same as Uncharted 4's multiplayer mode.
I believe, yes. I think I saw like it.
I don't even know.
You just get access to Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the survivor mode is either. I never really checked those out, but there were a lot of modifiers in that. I went into the bonus section when I finished the game, and there were a lot of different skins in that you could buy. There were some cool ones. I bought them, like, from collecting treasures and whatever, and I bought the skins, and I bought all the skins. I bought all the guns you could get. I had enough points to buy all the guns. And there was unlimited ammo mod there, so I bought that, and that was pretty much it. There are all like filter mods and stuff. Oh, there actually is a couple of cool features in this game. Chloe has a phone.
Yeah.
That you can pull out. You hit the big black button on your PS4 controller and she pulls out a phone. And there are different sections in the game where you can take photos. So, like, you know, a little camera prompt will come up, you walk out, you press triangle, you pull out a phone and of like the scenery and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then you can go back, you can pull your phone out and you can swipe through all your photos and check them out. I thought I was going pretty well with the photo stuff and that. I'm like, yeah, I think I've got them all. And then I got to the end and it's like, you got 15 out of 28. And I was like, oh, how did I miss so many? Yeah, but it's actually cool. It's just another cool little feature. You know, you pull out a phone and take a snap of the scenery and stuff and that. You can go back and look at them later. Yeah.
Put them on Snappy.
There are a couple of story ones in that as well. Like at the beginning of the game, there's this cool interaction she has with this, because she's in India, there's this, she's at this market and she's trying to buy this scarf and the young girl that works there is trying to bloody upsell her and stuff. And yeah, it's actually a really great little scene and she gets a photo of her and that as well. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Really, really good game for the price, for $49 or $59 or $54 or it's not expensive. Fucking hell, man. Totally recommend this game. And it's an Uncharted game.
Yeah.
I would definitely 4 out of 5. I would give this game. Definitely. The only reason I probably wouldn't give it a top tier mark, like Uncharted 4, I'd definitely give a 5 out of 5. But just with this one, some of the story it's in places, it's just a little bit wonky. Sort of the motives of the main villain, that as well, a little bit off. It's stuff you can sort of just overlook. But if we want to be like super critical about it, and yeah, there's nothing really new about it. It's just think of it like Uncharted 4.5.
Yeah.
But with a different character in that. And as a little tidbit, there may be a cameo from a previous Uncharted character in this game. I'm not going to say who, though.
Ooh.
Spoilers.
Chloe.
But no, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, 4 out of 5. It's available on PlayStation 4 now.
I'm going to play it. Definitely.
Yep. You got to get through Uncharted 4 first.
Yeah, I do.
You've still got Paddy's copy, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
And his copy of The Witcher.
Yeah. There's no rush to give that back now. He went and bought another one.
Yeah, he went and bought another one. He got a park and find today. He sent me a Snapchat today. Yeah. He got a fucking park and find. And he had Bosley in the car with him. I said, oh, you got a park and find, did you? $55? Oh, that's bullshit. He's like, yeah. He's like, I should teach Boz to rip their fucking throats out when they come. Shit like that, he says.
That's a fucking shark card he's lost there.
Actually, today, when I went to get Dark Souls today, I pulled up in the car park at the complex out at Kings Meadows. And I pulled up this car next to me, and as I was pulling up, I sort of noticed it had the windows down. And because I only got like a little car real low to the ground or whatever, I sort of, put the handbrake on and switch her off and open the door and grab my phone or whatever. And I spin around to get out of the car and I'm looking at this car across from me. And there's this gigantic fucking German Shepherd. It's the biggest fucking dog I've ever seen in my life. It's got its head right out the back window, and it's like a foot away from me. Like, this dog was fucking huge. It was like a bear. It was the biggest, fluffiest fucking German Shepherd I've ever seen. Have you seen The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, where they crash their plane in Alaska and they're getting stalked by the bear?
Oh, yeah,
it was fucking like that. This German Shepherd was fucking huge. And I got out and I shut the door and I was like, hey, how you going? You look real friendly. I was like, I hope you're not going to bite me. And I sort of had to like turn sideways and put my arms up because I didn't really want to brush it because in case this gigantic dog wrapped its mouth around my arm. And I sort of went past and he sort of stuck his nuzzle out, just sniffed me or whatever. But I didn't want to risk it. Like put my hand out and he bit like 4 of my fingers off. I wouldn't be playing Dark Souls then.
Bad dog meat.
Bad dog meat. It was a really nice dog day. He seemed real placid. So, yeah. I was like, oh, you're a nice dog, aren't you? Don't eat me. We might move on to our final Game of Thrones recap and season overview.
Forgot we haven't even touched this yet.
We haven't even touched those thrones because there was a bit of touching going on in that episode. Why did I tell you about that?
Saw you squirming while you were watching that.
Because there was this big thing the other day. It seemed for a lot of people who download and pirate Game of Thrones, I noticed a lot of people on Facebook going, does anyone have Game of Thrones? The amount of people in that. So Bobby and Hayley invited me around to their house to watch Game of Thrones, so I gladly accepted their invitation. We went around and we had some food and watched Game of Thrones on Bobby's big-ass telly. And
it was good.
'Twas very good. I actually really liked the opening, the meeting with everyone. That was great.
Oh yeah, it was the big awkward walk up to the gate and then they...
Bronn approaching them and...
Yeah.
You can suck his magic cock later.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that episode? How did you feel about that beginning? Sort of the march up to the dragon pit and then the meeting.
I loved the meeting, yeah. Or that whole bit, I was sort of like... It's moving very slowly, but they had a lot of characters to cover. Because I was like, fuck, there's a lot of history just in this sort of gathering of people here. So they spent quite a bit of time there, sort of back and forth between certain characters, blah, blah. And then the meeting sort of had a nice tenseness to it as well. It was like, you know.
Did it go the way you thought it was going to go?
At the start, yes. And then with Tyrion later on, no. Yeah.
I really like the approach, especially with the Hound and whatever. It's like the first one touches him, he's like, I'm going to fucking kill him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the chat he has with Brienne, and they talk about Arya, and you can see the Hound has a bit of a fondness for Arya, and
yeah, that was nice actually. Him and like Brienne, like meeting again, and they were almost kind of like battle buddies after that.
Yeah,
kind of thing, like a respect had been formed for each other. You know, yeah. What really intrigued me was at the meeting when the Hound approached the mountain.
When he fronted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Shit's gone down.
Cause, like,
it was walking up and the mountain steps out in front of Cersei. Yeah.
And everyone else is just sitting there like no one's said anything yet. And he walks up and I'm like, oh man, is this gonna crush me? Are they gonna kill the Hound with the mountain now? And then he said that line about like it not being him that's going to be the one that kills him, and you know who it is, and I was like, "Fuck,
yeah, this isn't your end," or whatever he said. He's like, "You know,
yeah,
like, you sort of you're going to die. You know your end. You know what's coming for you. You've always known." Yeah. Like them two are going to fucking square off eventually next season. Unfortunately, there was this great photo doing the rounds yesterday, the last few days. It was from a season or two ago. It was the actor who plays the Mountain. He was in like full kit and stuff in his golden armor and everything. And it was a photo with him and his girlfriend. And he had his helmet off, but he had like all his zombie makeup and that on.
Yeah.
Fuck, it looked rancid.
Really?
He had like big fucking devoured chunks and shit and that out of his face and out of his ear, and his eyes were all fucked and... Yeah, it was actually a real good photo, sort of, like, that sort of spoils it a bit, like, if he knocks his helmet off in the next season, like, ooh, but it'll look better in the show, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would they do all that work to his ears and stuff if he's got the helmet on?
So I don't know, it helps you get the character, I suppose.
It must be for the next season, then.
But no, it was great. It was bloody good, that photo. the scene where they sort of had a bit of bitching and whatever, and Daenerys flies in on Drogon, and it's like, we've been waiting for some time. I was like, my apologies. And then
I thought that was like a bad move by Daenerys to fly in with her dragons, and obviously Cersei noticed it as well by the end of the episode that she only flew in with 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you should have flown in with either 1 or none.
Yeah.
Like, don't give up your position of having.
Yeah,
3.
you've already played a card there, and she's seen it. So
yep.
But the best bit was where you could hear the Hound coming up the stairs. He had the crate on his back, and it was just like slowly unlock this, take the chain off, unlock that, pull that bar out, walk around, pull that bar out, and gently like kick the lid off. And he's sort of looking in, pulls his sword, and then eventually he just kicks the box over, and this white just comes running out.
There was a moment there where I was just like, has someone fucking opened the box? Like, is he going to have to actually go out there and kill one of those people because someone's opened the box and it's gotten out? Like, he's going to kick the box open and it'll be empty, and we're like, fucking
Beep, have to beep that now. But no, it was great, like, seeing a white in, like, full-blown, like, daylight, because we haven't seen that before. It's always been, like, overcast, wintry, bloody. You can't see too much. It's very dark and bleak and blue hues and everything. But in the bright light of day, and like, the shock on all their faces, like, especially, like, Cersei, like, she was shocked, but I'm sure she was playing up a bit as well. But fucking Jaime and that as well, like, the shock on his face, like, when he saw that white. And, yeah, they just had the chain around a sec, but they let it run, and he just went up and grabbed it and cutting arms off, and then Jon just explaining that we can kill them with fire and whatever, and then cutting them in half, and you can kill them with dragon glass, and yeah, bloody good. Corker television. And then Tyrion going off to talk to Cersei and whatever, and then Jon and Daenerys, they're talking about how she can't get pregnant, practically massive. The definition of foreshadowing in that bloody scene.
Yeah.
It's just like his bloody, knock me out with your undead milk.
You have to fucking censor that one.
No
Jesus.
We're leaving that in.
Undead milk. This week's episode brought to you by Jon Snow's Undead Milk.
Get a few inches of snow. Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
What happened after that? What happened after that big meeting scene?
God.
Oh, we went back to Winterfell.
Ah, yes.
We had the meeting with Sansa and Littlefinger. And Littlefinger's like, there's a game I like to play. It's like, assume the worst. Fucking, I can't even remember how it goes. What do people stand to win?
What's the worst accent you've ever
Yeah,
heard?
that's it. What's the worst accent? What's the worst thing that could happen or whatever? And then playing this game or whatever, and cutting back to I can't even remember cutting back to what after that. There was a bit of cutting around.
Yeah.
They went back to Jaime and stuff, and Jaime was preparing the army and whatever, and strategy and all that shit.
There was Tyrion sort of talking Cersei around to the idea of joining the war.
Oh, yeah. And her just hinting that she was pregnant, not actually telling him, letting him figure it out.
Yeah.
That she's pregnant. I'm doing the air quote here. I don't think she's pregnant.
Really? You still don't?
No, I don't think so.
Because it was kind of in a way that, like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of believed it more then because I thought, like, it was Tyrion being, like, I don't think she was feeding that information to Tyrion. It felt like Tyrion worked it out, kind of thing.
But she's playing the game. She knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
The Game of Thrones.
I still think that it's going to come down to Jaime being the Queenslayer. And she is pregnant, and he's going to have to fucking deal with, like, what happens with the kid, basically. Yeah.
It was good, though. Jaime totally... the scene in her chambers, or in the chamber and that, where the mountain was there as well. And he was like, you lied to me. You lied to all of them. You said we were going to go help. Like, I pledged myself to them. I gave them my word. He's like, I'm going to go. Like, try and stop me. Like, kill me if you have to. The scene where the mountain fucking unsheathed his sword, that split second, I was like, his head's gone!
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
And then we got to the end of the episode, and I said that, and Haley was like, Brent, she didn't kill Tyrion, so there was no way she was going to kill Jaime. And I was like, you're so wise, Hayley. That's exactly right.
She's the best person ever to watch Game of Thrones with.
Yeah, she is. She actually is. She really is.
Yeah.
And then what happened later on? Geez, man, there was a lot that happened. We'll go back to Winterfell because Arya, I'm doing the air quotes again, was on trial, and everyone was there. The bloody Lords of the North and the Lords of the Vale, and everyone there. There were guards up the arsehole. They called Arya in, and and then it was all a bloody ruse. They were after bloody Peter Baelish, and I was just as shocked as he was because I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was really nice. That little payoff.
Thank
fuck, because, it was sort of heading in a direction where it was going to be Arya versus Sansa, and I was like, don't do that.
It's a waste of time.
We spent so many seasons getting them together. Don't fucking do this. But that's great. That worked out awesome. I saw you squirm in your seat when he, basically, he knew he was fucked at this stage, and he, knelt down on the ground and was like, please! And you were just like, oh, fuck. This guy is just a fucking watery piece of shit.
He's at the end of his rope. He's got nothing left.
Yeah.
He's fucking...
all your dignity's gone. You've got nothing to hide behind. Yeah, really, he's just
and this
a fucking wet fish.
This all started with Baelish.
Yeah.
The whole thing started. He killed Jon Arryn. He framed Ned, killed Ned, had Ned killed, pretty much. Started the heat, the war between the Lannisters and the Starks, and it just all went from there.
Finally met his end.
Yep.
Fuck, that took a long time.
Yeah, bloody oath it did. And then what else happened? What else bloody happened? Oh, the fucking incest.
Yeah.
I did not.
You were like, oh no.
I did not want this to happen. I'm like, do we really need to go back to incest? Because we all know she's like, oh, I can't get pregnant, and he's like, I'm dead, and my super dead sperm is gonna do the deed, and he's gonna knock her up now. But it's gonna be weird because it's all incesty, and fucking the amount of people online that are like, yeah, they're together, I'm so happy, and I'm just like, it's okay to condone fucking incest in TV, but not in real life, but...
Yeah.
Well, the other way around, not in real life, but it's okay to do it in TV, but fucking hell. Jesus, was this really necessary?
Yeah.
And Tyrion watching in the shadows, he's just like, well, this is gonna cause some drama. They were just allies before, now they're romantically linked. This is gonna cause trouble.
In the shadows, I didn't see that.
Oh, he watched him knock on the door and enter into her personal chambers.
He's like, I know all about this world with my brother and sister.
And then we had while they're doing the deed, we had Sam and Bran
doing the deed.
No, not doing the deed. Just sharing information with each other that, yes, Bran was finally shared with someone that he knew whose Jon real father is, who his real parents are. And then Sam chimes in and he's like, you know what? He's actually not a bastard. His father, Rhaegar Targaryen, got married to Lyanna Stark.
Fucking uncomfortable the way that they cut between that conversation and the sex scene.
And Kit Harington's bare ass.
Yeah, it was kind of like, ooh, yeah, jiggy scene, and then oh, yeah, by the way, incestuous information. Back to, jiggy scene. Back to...
Look at these two getting it on. Hey, they're actually related, did you know?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But, yeah, Jon, we said this 3 or 4 episodes ago, Gilly finding out that bit of information just legitimizes Jon's claim to the Iron Throne. He is he's the true heir to the Iron Throne.
So, I'm trying to work out how they're actually still related. Is it Daenerys is kind of like Jon Snow's auntie? Yes.
Her older brother Rhaegar is Jon's father.
Yeah.
So, Jon is Daenerys' nephew, and his true name is Aegon Targaryen, after the great Aegon Targaryen.
Third of his name, or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. The one who brought 6 of the 7 kingdoms together, united them, and... all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, it was good. It was a good episode. And then we had that big, bloody payoff cliffhanger at the end at Eastwatch.
Yeah.
Where they rocked up at the bloody wall, And they bloody flew in with the zombie dragon, and they
you
blew down a massive fucking section of the wall.
We don't need a fucking ice dragon. Let's get a blue flame dragon and melt the fucking wall down.
Yep.
Tormund
and Beric still in Eastwatch. Obviously, they'll make it through the next season, obviously. Definitely.
I was saying to Hales the other night, an ice dragon could still have worked. Because the ice dragon just make a giant
ramp. Yeah, you did say that. You did say that, yeah.
Big accessible ramp.
So yeah, it's gonna be big next season. I actually read today that the next season may not air till 2019 because the shooting schedule for this season, they start in October and it runs through to August next year. So I read today that HBO was trying to work out their timeline, taking into account the shooting in different countries, the multiple shooting schedules and whatever, the CGI, the special effects, everything they're trying to take it into account. Perhaps it'll debut in November next year and run through till December. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully it'll be next year. We don't have to wait an extra couple of months on top of that. But yeah. Don't want to be shortchanged. Just fucking, just do what you got to do. Get it out. Like Red Dead 2. Do what you bloody got to do.
Yeah.
Give us the complete package.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't want you to rush, but fuck, I really want you to rush. I really want to watch it.
We need to build up though, because today, like, I hadn't seen people at work since Monday, and they're trying to talk to me at Game of Thrones today, and I'm like, look, man, I'm fucking exhausted from Game of Thrones now. Like, I just want to go back and sort of watch it all from start to finish and just get really refreshed with everything I know now, because I know a lot more than... Because watching it the first time through, like, I don't really know characters, I don't know where they are, I'm just sort of watching...
almost catching up.
Like, I don't know who's connected to who, and I forget, like, I know more now than I ever did. Like, I know names, and I know connections, and places, and houses, and everything, way better than I did. So I can watch from start to finish and easily connect those dots. John Arryn. Beric Dondarrion going after the mountain. Bloody Lord of Light. All that shit.
We, actually...
Rhaegar Targaryen.
Straight after you left the other night, we, went back to season 1, episode 1, and we were like, well, we've got at least another year to wait. What do we fucking do now? And we just looked at each other and went, start from the start? Yeah, alright. So we watched the first episode again. Holy shit, visually the show's come a long way. Like, I mean, episode 1 still looks great, but the costumes and just everything, like, you can tell the budget is just through the fucking roof now with this show.
Yep.
Whereas back at the pilot stage, it was kind of like taking a big risk on a big fantasy epic. And everyone's so baby-faced and fresh and alive. The amount of characters we were sitting there just watching, just going, dead, 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 missing a limb, missing this, has no nuts, dead. Like, holy fuck. Yeah.
There's actually, I never picked it up before, but there's massive foreshadowing in that first episode where they come across the dead direwolf that's been impaled by the stag. The parent direwolf has been killed by the stag, so the stag is the symbol of the Baratheon house, and the direwolf's the symbol of the Stark house, and it sort of foreshadows Ned being killed at the end of the season. I'm like, holy fuck, man. But one thing I want to know is, I imagine it's true, but did these guys know right at the beginning when the show started that whose Jon's true parents were, and that Ned knew all along, and they just whispered to Sean Bean at the beginning? They're like, hey, this is who his parents are. You bloody know. So when Robert's talking about how Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna and he raped her and everything and all that sort of stuff, you actually know that's not true, so you just subtly play that differently.
I'd say so, because, I mean, by the time that came out, the 4th or 5th book was out, and I'm pretty sure George R.R. Martin was kind of already on his way to knowing how he's going to wrap that thing up.
Because the first thing Robert does when he gets to Winterfell is he wants to go down to the crypt to visit Lyanna's grave.
But even when you watch Sean Bean's character in those first couple of episodes, it's only, like, we're only 2 episodes into the first season rewatching again, and you can already kind of see that. I don't know if it's us, like, putting that image onto the character now, but, like, it feels like you can definitely see there's definitely, like, he knows more.
He knows more than...
He knows a lot more. And there's one scene, actually, right before Jon Snow goes to the wall, and he says, I promise you, the next time that I see you...
I'll tell you about your mother.
Yeah, I'll tell you about your mother.
Mm.
And, yeah, obviously that never happens. But just in that scene alone, I was like, fuck.
That's like when
that's been known for the whole time.
When the last season finished and it was revealed who his true parents were at the end of the last season, he had that great shot, where he's just they've all voted him the King of the North and everyone's yelling, the King of the North, the King of the North. And I was just sitting there and I was like, fuck. I was like, Ned's known about this John's entire life. He kept this secret from his wife. He forsake some of his apparent honor and his dignity and whatever, and that his wife believed that he cheated on him when he never did. But
Catelyn's sitting there
he swore to his sister that he would keep the secret and he would protect her son, his nephew.
Yeah,
and he took this on for his entire life, and he wore this, and he never had a chance to say to his wife the truth.
Yeah, in the second episode.
That's fucking heavy. That's a heavy burden to carry.
She's sitting there Bran's fucking been pushed out of a window, fighting for his life. She's sitting there, looking after their kid who's, on death's door. And Jon Snow comes in to say goodbye to him. And, she's like, get out of here, sort of thing. And, Ned's standing at the door, watching all this with that knowledge. Just fuck, wouldn't you want to tell them both? It's all been a lie. Fuck.
But he swore to her.
Yeah.
And if nothing, Ned's an honourable man.
To a fault, yeah. Yeah. It
was also a bit of his downfall as well.
Yep.
Poor bastard. Fuck, I like that guy. That was so rattling for me at the end of the first season.
Oh, man.
I was like, they've just killed off the main character. What the fuck is this show?
That was the first time ever in a TV series that I went back, downloaded the video to my PC, opened up QuickTime Player that's got a frame by frame function that I use for animation, and frame by framed to see if the sword actually went through Ned Stark's neck when they cut it off. Cut off his head. I was that, I could not believe what I fucking saw. And I'm I'm sitting there after I watched it going next frame, next frame, next frame. Then I saw the sword pass through the neck and I'm like, oh, fuck. There's no coming back from that. He's dead.
How did you feel about this season on the whole?
A lot of people are fucking negging out on it, but I actually really enjoyed it. I think this season went, it did have some issues, especially Sam. I felt like that was a bit of a wasted storyline. As much as I like seeing that, the whole cleaning out the bloody shit pots and everything, that was great. Yeah.
I feel like this just built and just went from strength to strength. Every episode just built up. It was like walking up a staircase. It was just ooh, ooh, one, up, 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 up.
Yeah.
Until you got to the penultimate episode, which, like Matt said, the penultimate episode is always better than the final episode of the season.
Definitely. Look, I fucking loved it. I heard complaints all the way through Game of Thrones all the time from people going,
fuck those guys.
Oh, they just stand around and talk and it's just political and blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's too boring. Show more dragons. Then this season happens where fucking you get all the biggest battles, you get all the dragons you could ever ask for.
Yep.
And now people are flipping the table going, oh, this isn't the show that I'm used to. I wanted the fucking political talky thing that's been for 7 years. It's
you can't please
edge.
people. You can't please people.
Pick a side, or be happy with both. It's the best fucking show that's been around for forever, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm really
and
interested.
Nothing gets the fucking anyone talking quite like Game of Thrones does.
Yep.
Everybody wants to know what happens next. Yeah.
I did my yearly Facebook, social media blackout the other day when the finale was on. Put a status up. I was like, yearly social media blackout starts now. # Game of Thrones finale. Don't talk to me. I didn't get on the internet all day. I was like, fuck that. Oh, I don't want to know anything.
No. And if you're one of those people out there that doesn't watch Game of Thrones, good for you, whatever. I don't fucking care that you don't. Just don't brag about it. You're seriously missing out. I love it. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We bloody love it. Corker of the season, fucking, geez, man. Next season's going to go off.
Yeah.
It's going to go off like a fish milkshake.
Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, the snow falling in King's Landing. That was a big
thing. That was a great touch.
And Jamie sort of gearing up to take off. And yeah, the snow fell on his glove. That's it. That was the moment. Yeah,
because it's very, very temperate climate in the south in King's Landing. And yeah, it started to snow.
It was like, winter is fucking there. Yep. I love Jamie's character now.
I do too. He's riding off to complete his redemption arc. Yep. Same with Theon as well. Theon's going off to complete his redemption arc as well.
Yeah.
He's going to save his sister.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got a mention of the Golden Company as well. Big names from the books, the Golden Company. Yeah, Euron's going to shepherd them over to Westeros, and yeah, another 20,000 well-paid men to fight. Anyway, did you watch Game of Thrones finale? If you did, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you like this season? If you don't watch Game of Thrones, then good for you.
Yeah, tell us. Am I wrong? Fucking, I'll happily be wrong if you prove me wrong. But I fucking loved it. I loved it.
I think that might do it for this week.
Yep.
We might wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Baxter, where can people find you online? Where can they find your new pieces of artwork that you are posting?
The dubs.bobbybaxter.com and Instagram.com/BobbyBaxterCartoons and Facebook.com/BobbyBaxterCartoons and Bobby Baxter on Twitter, and just Google my name everywhere else.
DeviantArt.
DeviantArt, DeviantArt.com. Oh, fuck, I don't know what the URL.
Crows.
Bobby Baxter on DeviantArt. Look that up.
And you can find the Bearded Geeks on Facebook at facebook.com/Bearded Geeks Pod. You can find Bearded Geeks on Instagram at The Bearded Geeks, on Twitter at Bearded Geeks Pod. We're also on TeePublic if you want to buy a bloody t-shirt, mate, to wear about town.
Oh, yeah, I need one, actually.
Somebody saw me in town wearing my Bearded Geeks t-shirt today, and they're like, oh, you're right, wearing your face on your shirt? And I'm like, how the fuck else am I meant to fucking advertise?
Yeah. I
was like, do you listen? They're like, nah. I'm like, well, fuck off then.
Have you ever created anything before in your life? No. Fuck off then.
Bearded Geeks are on iTunes and SoundCloud and YouTube if you'd like to listen to the show.
At the end of
yeah, bloody hell, you are too. Don't scare them off.
Just cut them off. Yeah, cut me out.
If you'd like to leave us a review or a like or a little love heart, give it a click. Give us a thumbs up.
Give us some love.
Yeah.
Counteract my snarkiness.
Yeah,
give me some love.
Bloody snarkiness, I tell you. I'll have to have words with him when we get
I need Paddy back in the room. He's he brings me back down. He centers me down. He's just so chill.
Brings you back to your Zen place. Yeah. So, next week, I'm excited because, Bobby, you don't know this yet.
No.
But next Thursday, we're going to see It. And then we're going to come back and do a poo-cast after that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. This is going to be...
IT.
This is going to be one of the films of the year, I reckon. A lot of people are bloody excited for this Stephen King adaptation, more so than they were with the bloody Dark Tower, I can tell you that much. Mm-hmm. This movie looks fucking great. It looks fucking nuts, and it's the first part, so there's more to come after this.
Yeah.
Hell to the fucking yeah, man. Scary Clowns, man. Next week, It review
for non-comic book movies
on the Bearded Geeks podcast.
Loving it.
Yep. So that's exciting. So we'll do that next week. We'll make sure Patrick Brown's here. We'll fucking get him on board. Slack bastard.
Yeah. Hey, Marvel. Give him next week. Give him some slack.
Yeah. Just a few less bits of work for him to do next week.
Just a couple.
Yeah. It's a bit hard. He's just peppering him in here.
We miss him.
Not enough.
We miss him.
We do. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week on the Bearded Geeks.
Hey!
Bloody get around it, why don't you?
Yeah.
See you later.